to me. I'm going to go ahead and have you introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Sherelle. I'm 22. I'm an architectural drafter. So I came on this show today like I'm ready to find love. So I'm really excited.
Okay. Just so the guys can know a little bit more about you, what are some things you like to do for fun?
Yeah, so a lot of my spare time is usually spent with my friends or my family, but personally my own hobbies, I've recently been getting into DJing.
Okay.
I don't do it in public yet, but and that's something I like to do for fun, and going to the gym, that's just my usual go-to right now.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we do have 5 single men on the other side of this curtain. I know they're just waiting to hear more about you and you more about them.
Absolutely.
And we do see here you have a set of questions. Ready?
Yes, I am.
Guys, are we ready? Are we ready over there?
Most definitely.
Yes.
Okay. They don't sound ready to me, but whatever.
I sound excited.
So I'm going to go ahead and have you start with your first question.
So my first question is can you state a fun fact about yourself, or just anything to let me get to know you more?
And let's start with your name and age as well. So we'll start with contestant number 1.
Hey, I'm contestant number 1. My name is Rich. I'm 25 years old. And I would say a fun fact for me would be being involved with kids. I love the community, so that's something that I'm most definitely interested in. Just being able to connect with children and to provide resources to people that are less fortunate.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
And contestant number 2?
I'm contestant number 2. I'm Andre. I'm 30. A fun fact about me is I like to make clothes. I taught myself how to sew. I taught myself how to do for a lot of things. I like to be very hands-on with stuff.
And now for contestant number 3.
Contestant number 3, my name is James. What I like to do is mobile bartend. I run my own mobile bartending business. Been doing that for about 1.5 years, and I really enjoy it.
Now contestant number 4.
Contestant number 4, my name is Tavier. I love to make music, love all things music, love to go to concerts, festivals, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
You sound like Chris Rock.
And contestant number 5.
Hi, I'm contestant number 5. My name is Kai. A fun fact about me, I guess, I love cars. I'm also an entrepreneur. I just bought my first water and ice store. I don't know. Loads of big money.
Okay. All right. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah,
Very excited.
nice to meet them.
Okay, go ahead and take it off with your next question.
Yeah.
I think all of them said their
Definitely
age.
something I want to know about you guys is, have you ever cheated, and do you think it's a deal breaker in a relationship?
Okay, we're jumping right on in.
Yeah.
Let's start with
Getting
contestant number
serious.
1.
Number 1, in my younger years, of course, cheating is something that you do because you learn in a relationship. But in the older years, I wouldn't say so. So, no. And then a deal breaker, would cheating be a deal breaker? What form of cheating? If you're communicating with someone else, I kind of feel like I'm someone who is a great man, so I don't necessarily kind of want to give in to that in a sense. But it's like, if you're so involved with me, there shouldn't be nobody else.
Yeah.
Okay. Contestant number 2.
Contestant number 2, no, I never cheated, and it's definitely a deal breaker with me. I don't share.
All right. And contestant number 3.
Contestant number 3, yes, I have cheated. I don't think it's a deal breaker. I feel like it depends on the relationship, working on it, getting through it together, and just growing. And if you guys got to go your separate ways or move forward with it together, then, that's what you got to do.
Okay. Contestant number 4.
Contestant number 4, honestly speaking, I don't understand the reason to cheat because, for me, I get in relationships because I, aspire to that relationship. I want that relationship. So, personally, I haven't done that. But, and I do think it's a deal breaker because if you've cheated once, you're probably going to do it again. So,
yeah.
Okay. And contestant number 5.
Contestant number 5, personally, I've never cheated. I do think it's a deal breaker because I feel like it's a choice. If you chose to make that decision, step out on me, you willingly and, consciously made that decision. So you weren't thinking about me or how I would feel. So personally, it's a deal breaker for me because if it were me, I would just leave personally.
Okay.
Yeah. Cheating is definitely a deal breaker. I mean, you get into a relationship, and the main one of the main important things about getting into a relationship is being in a committed relationship. You're committed to that person. That person's supposed to be committed to you. So it makes sense. It should always be a deal breaker. It doesn't even depend on what fashion of cheating it is. Cheating is cheating.
All right. Let's go ahead and throw in one more question in this round, and then we're going to go ahead and...
So, my last question for this round is, how open are you to therapy and issues related to mental health in men?
Okay, let's switch it up. Let's start with contestant number 5 first.
Ooh, contestant number 5. Sorry. My parents work in the behavioral health field, so I mean, I'm always open to. I'm kind of hip to it. I'm not against therapy. I just hope it's for the right reasons. It's not trying to prove a point or try and get over on somebody of pointing out their downfalls or where they lack. But I'm definitely down for it.
Okay, contestant number 4.
I'm contestant number 4. I think therapy is very important for everybody. And personally speaking, I've dealt with some issues that, I needed therapy myself with, but didn't really go seek that. So I, feel like that's very important for everybody to do, to experience. So, yeah.
Okay. Number 3.
Contestant number 3, I think mental health is really important, but I'm not the type to really go to therapy right now. I'm open to it, but I'd rather just communicate and see where it is with it.
Contestant 2, I would say I'm open to it. I've actually been to therapy when I was in the military, so yeah, it's definitely helped me out. So I wouldn't mind going. Like if I had a problem, I wouldn't mind going to seek therapy.
Okay. And number 1.
Contestant number 1, I'll say I'm most definitely open to therapy. I've been in therapy. I do social work as well, and so I'm helping people out all the time. And so even healing journals, Black men healing journals, if those individuals who never had one get one. So I'm all in support of mental health.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I think therapy is definitely an important thing to do or to make a decision about. I don't find nothing wrong with therapy. If you need it, you need it. I don't see any reason to shame anyone, in needing some type of therapy, whether it's therapy for themselves or therapy for the relationship. If it helps either the individual person or it helps the relationship, to be on a more positive and basically moving forward to something better, then it makes sense to do.
Right. I know you heard a lot.
I did hear a lot.
So unfortunately, it is time where we do have to eliminate someone from, our lineup of men.
Yeah.
From the 5 different guys we've heard, whose answers weren't you really resonating with?
I think for me, the person I wasn't resonating with the most was contestant number 3.
Okay.
Reasons is the cheating, and I don't think that's something in a relationship that you can necessarily jump back. I'm sorry.
Backpedal from, recover from, I guess.
I don't think that's something you can necessarily work through. So yeah, that's my reasoning. And
okay, so we're eliminating contestant number 3.
Contestant number 3.
Okay,
yes.
contestant number 3, let's have you come on out. If you want to go right on over there.
I guess it's a got you moment.
All right. So if you want to remind us of your name again.
James.
James. Okay. So James, she ended up eliminating you because of, the cheating thing and all of that. If you want to kind of elaborate on what you stated a little bit more, or do you understand where she's coming from as well?
I understand where she's coming from. I feel like it's a deal breaker for a lot of people. Like I said, it depends on the relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we do thank you so much for coming on.
Say what he said.
Yeah, I appreciate
Thank you for your time.
Nice to meet you as well.
Okay, that was our first elimination.
That was our first elimination.
Let's go ahead and move on to round 2. Hit him with
It's kind of funny because it was a bit of a disappointment with her. Like, oh, man, but look at him. Funny he had the right answers.
The first
Okay, yeah.
question.
So my first question for the second round for you guys is, do you prefer a partner that's more similar to you or different?
Okay, let's start with contestant number 1.
Contestant number 1, I would say it kind of depends. I feel like differences can make each other better, but also those similarities are important as well because I want to do things with you. I want to go places with you, but we do have differences. Then I would be comfortable with learning what you like, and then you learning what I like, and then we do it together.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, contestant number 2.
Contestant number 2, I would say it kind of, just depends on the relationship. Obviously, we would have to have some things that are different so that I would be able to get to know you and you would be able to get to know me. But on the other hand, we would definitely share some of the same things as well because, I mean, if we're going to be working on something or a relationship, we are obviously going to have some of the same interests. But it's kind of going to go both ways.
All right, and contestant number 4.
I'm contestant number 4. I'll just say, pretty similar to these guys. It does really depend. For me, I find like the more you're similar with somebody, the more, you can connect with them. So for me, I like to make music and do all things music related. So I like to go to concerts, festivals, do fun things, you know what I mean? And if you're not into that, it might just, it might hinder, our relationship just slightly. But I'm open to anything, to be honest with you. So.
Okay.
And number 5.
Contestant number 5. I'm kind of agree with everybody else. I do like the mix of the two, but I do like having differences. I feel like me personally, I like to hear like a different side of a story or a different view. Especially me, I'm very used to kind of hearing people being the same idea. So I like hearing that, that other perspective on it, personally. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, whether you have things in common or there's a lot of things that is different between the two people, it's good to have some things in common. So when you have certain things in common of interest, you can enjoy those things together because that's the whole point of being in a relationship, is to basically be with that person and to have that company, that companionship that you can spend time with. And if y'all too different, she likes this and you like this, and you're always going your separate ways, it's like, what is the point? What is the point of the relationship? So, yeah, differences is good. Like he said, you learn, you can, learn new things. You can hear a different story, a different background. So, of course, yeah, it's going to be differences there, and that's always good. But to have things in common is basically the best of both worlds. That's how that basically works out. It's best to have the best of both worlds.
All right, good responses. Let's hit him with another question.
Okay, so my second question for you guys is, what sets you apart from other men in today's dating culture?
Okay, let's switch it up. Let's start in the middle of the lineup. Let's start with number 2.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
All right, contestant number 2, I would say what makes me different is I'm pretty hands-on, and you don't have to tell me stuff. Like, I pay attention to detail, and then, like, my background and, just things that I've been through, as far as, like, growing up around women. I was brought up around women, so, like, I just kind of, I have more of a caring side. I'm not just, like, out here just, with no feelings, or, like, I actually think about my actions and stuff, and I'm the type, like, I don't do stuff that I don't want done to me because, like, I take things to the heart. So once I'm not feeling a certain way about you anymore, like, it ain't no coming back from that. So I kind of try to keep that in mind as far as, like, how I'm moving too, So I wouldn't want to do anything that I wouldn't want you to do to me, pretty much.
Okay. All right, and let's hear from...
What sets me aside, I feel like I'm my own person. So as far as like making decisions or just really, I feel like I've gotten as far as I've gotten based off my own experience and my own decisions I make. I'm not easily influenced, and if it's something I want to do, I'm going to do it. Obviously consideration to like, who I'm with, but I'm not like a follower, and I make my own way, my own motion. So if I mess up, that's on me. I don't have to like drag anybody down with me. Like, I don't know, opened my own 2 businesses by myself. I bought my dream car at 24. I just feel like I've just been moving at my own pace, doing my own thing. So I'm not really into like the other limelight or anything like that.
Okay. And number 4?
Contestant number 4. Ultimately, what makes me different is that I'm looking for marriage, to be real. Somebody I can build with, grow with, have kids with, spend the rest of my life with. So this is not just like a dating show for me. It's like, I want to get to know you. I want to know what you like, what you don't like. And hopefully, the connection builds and builds and builds so we, can further that relationship and ultimately just grow together in harmony on one accord. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And contestant number 1.
Contestant number 1. I would say for me, just attention to detail. I think what makes me different is just I enjoy paying attention to detail, being deliberate in what I do. And so with that being said, like everything that we're going to set out to do, we're going to be the best to do it. So whatever dreams you have, we're going to conquer those. Whatever dreams I have, we're going to conquer those. And just like contestant 4 said, you date to marry. So that's the intention. And so with the intentionality and us coming together, what's stopping us?
Okay.
Okay. These guys have got some great answers. Some great long answers, too, on top of that. I mean, she got a whole lot of information to take in, to think about. But the limited time she has to even think about that as she's listening to all these guys. It's tough. This whole setup is tough.
All right, let's throw one more question into this round.
Okay, so another question I want to know from you guys is, what do you think is your biggest red flaw or flag?
Okay, let's start with contestant number 1.
Contestant number 1, my biggest red flag, it would be my heart. My heart put me in bad spots of just kind of people who do me wrong to be able to continue on and love them. And I think sometimes they can get you taken advantage of.
Okay. Contestant number 2.
Contestant number 2, I would say the same thing, kind of like just my heart for real. Like, I be just too caring and like I look past a lot of stuff. I give way too many second chances and, like I like to be for my people. So if I mess with you, I'm going to give you 1,000 chances before I really just be like, all right, I'm done. So that's kind of like my biggest flaw right there.
Okay. Number 4.
I'm not trying to steal their answers or anything, but honestly, it is my heart because I feel like I'm a very nice person sometimes, and then that kind of comes off and rubs off in the wrong way with certain people. So I just try to avoid doing that, you know what I mean? Because whoever I'm dating or, pursuing to marry, that's who I want to be with. So I don't want anything else to come in between that. So, yeah, I'll just say it's my heart, my caring nature. It's how my family is. It's how I grew up. So can't help it, but I'm working on it.
Okay. And our last guy, contestant number 5.
Contestant number 5, I feel like for me, it's probably going to be like my personality. I'm a people's person, so I do network, and it's easy for me to talk to people and kind of like, get my way or meet myself into a room. I feel like that, especially for if I'm going to be with somebody, I feel like they have to be able to understand that and know that, like, I'm not like a quiet person, so I am going to be out networking. And I feel like, they just have to be strong enough and, have enough security to be able to withstand that and know that I do talk. I'm not like a very quiet person. It's gotten me into rooms I wouldn't have gotten if I was quiet. So I just feel like it's easy to be respected. Like, if I'm moving a certain way and I'm trying to do certain things, I expect you to understand that and allow me to do what I need to do to make sure we're good.
Okay. All right.
It's funny how they was answering it. It's almost like she should have switched it up. It's because it's almost like when the first guy answer it creates like a domino effect because the answers seem similar as you go down the road. Except the guy at the end really is unique with his answers. It really is unique. His answers is really different. He doesn't bite off the other 3 answers, either at all or as much, which is pretty good.
All right, guys, that was round 2.
It's round 2.
So it's time to eliminate someone. Who are you leaning towards eliminating?
Am leaning towards contestant number 1. I'm just kind of not feeling that initial draw to him.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my reasoning today.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to have you stand on over there. And let's go ahead and bring out contestant number 1.
That's crazy because when she brought out the contestant number 3 that she eliminated, he actually came out first and then she stand up. I guess they really is trying to get this whole format, this new format down. How they're, going to do it all in order.
Hello. You can remind us of your name again?
Rich.
Rich, okay, Rich. So she ended up eliminating you. I think she said she wasn't really feeling your responses. How do you feel now that you've seen her? How do you feel now that you've seen him? Like, what's going through your head?
I mean, very beautiful. I mean, you got to be yourself and be honest, so that's how I move.
Absolutely.
Was there anything specific he said that you were like, oh, no?
No, I think I was just kind of leaning more towards other responses versus his. So obviously I don't want to waste your time if I'm not getting that initial, impression or spark. So that's my reasoning today.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on,
you.
Rich.
Yeah, but just look at them. They look good together, though. They look good together. I'm not saying they will be good together. They just look good together. Yeah, it just looks like a nice fit. Once again, too bad on the answers. Or
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and move on up. All right, so we are now left with contestant number 2, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, we're down to our 3 remaining guys. Let's go ahead and go on to round 3.
My first question for you guys will be what is your favorite pastime?
Okay, let's start with contestant number 2.
My favorite pastime would be working on my businesses. So I own a clothing line, so I like to make clothes. I make a lot of clothes from scratch. I like to think of a lot of new designs for upcoming seasons and stuff I want to drop. I also breed French Bulldogs, so I be with my dogs a lot. Or, I do trucking as well, so I own a trucking company, so I like to take a drive. I'll take a drive at night and pretty much just get out, see the scenery, relax, just enjoy my time, peaceful time. I kind of like to, just be in my own little area, just, doing my own thing, not too much going out or anything. I like to, find activities or something or, really just work on myself for real. If I'm going to pass time, I at least want to work on myself and go ahead further, continue chasing my goals and get into where I want to go.
Okay, thank you. Let's hear from contestant number 4.
I would say my favorite pastime is traveling. I really, really, really love to travel because there's so much beauty in traveling. Get to meet new people, network, try new cuisines and all that different kind of stuff. And I like to do a lot of adrenaline rushing things while I'm traveling or, while I'm at home too. But, yeah, I would just say overall, I really, really love to travel and go see new things, different things, because the world is so big and there's so many people in the world. So it's like, why not experience it, and learn it for yourself. And it also opens your mind to new things, new people, how they act versus how you act, because a lot of us can be very, very limited to our current situations or environments. And that's one thing I dislike, is to just have a one-sided mind. I like to be open to all people, understand all people. So traveling helps me open up and learn new things, see new things, taste new things, do new things, all the above.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And let's hear from contestant number 5.
Contestant number 5, I do love the gym. I feel like that's the greatest outlet in the world. I feel like we deal with all types of problems every day in our lives. I just feel like we all need to have a good positive outlet. Besides that, I'm going to go back to my car. I love my car. I bought a Hellcat. I love it. It's the best thing in the world. I do like what contestant number 4 said, traveling. Traveling is great. It's nice to see the world, especially for how big it is. Especially when you live like in a local area and you haven't really been out, you don't understand how big the world is. Like when I went to Paris, opened my mind. I'm like, yo, this is real. Like this world is a real thing. So definitely the gym, my car, and traveling for sure. Pastime.
Okay.
Yeah. I definitely
That's
felt
awesome.
them on the traveling part as well. Me myself, I've been to 26 countries. So
Ooh.
I completely understand. I think it definitely
Wow.
opens your mind to
Okay.
new worlds and just gets yourself out of that bubble of, living here in the US.
Exactly.
Like, so yeah, it was really great to hear.
Nice.
My next question for
Wow.
you guys though is,
Wow, she's only 22. She's been to 26 countries. Wow, a lot of people can't say that. Wow, she's definitely a traveler. That's amazing.
if you could take me anywhere on a first date, where would you choose and why?
Okay, let's start with contestant number 4.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like doing things that build core memories for us. So, I know how to cook, so I'd like to cook for you. Take you home. We can go to the movies, do whatever activity we both enjoy doing together. I definitely want to do that. But apart from that, if that's not something that's in the picture, I would say, a fancy dinner, because we gotta pop out, because we that couple. But other than that, picnic in the park is cool too. I can cook some food. We can go to the park, enjoy that, watch the sunset, nature, all that good stuff. So I'll just say anything that's really building core memories. Whoever I'm getting to know, I want to know what you like. So by the time we're doing these dates and things like that, I will already have like a mental picture of what's going to make you smile, what's going to make you laugh, and all that stuff. So
Okay.
Wow, I gotta pause it right there. Wow. This guy right here, Mr. Romantic. Okay, suave. I mean, they say chivalry is dead. If only half of them TikTok women knew. Men like this do exist. And that they're not all about that nonsense. See, this whole movement about women and all that stuff. Men don't hate women, like I've been saying for the longest time. This right here, this guy right here, just this display that. Men don't hate women. Men don't want to fight with women. It's not men versus women. It's all nonsense. It's all internet nonsense. And this right here just proved it. This guy right here. And the rest of these guys. I mean, chivalry is well alive. Women are just got to basically just act on their feminine side of themselves and just be nice. And you'll find a great guy. Hey, out there.
All right, let's go ahead and hear from contestant number 5.
Contestant number 5, for a first date, I like to have fun, and especially if I don't know you, don't know me, we need to meet on a neutral ground. So I would probably find like a little cool speakeasy, trying to show you a little something different, a little hole in the wall type of vibe. Yeah, I like them speakeasies. There's a few of them out here, so definitely probably there, a restaurant, something. I mean, yeah, I'd probably go the speakeasy route and get a little snack.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. And contestant number 1. I'm sorry, contestant number 2.
You cracking up.
Contestant number 2, it would kind of just depend, once we started texting and I kind of felt the vibe, kind of see which way I would more lean towards. But I would say something like outdoors, like something cool, like cool vibe, something not too, nothing like no club or nothing, or, just something that we could both at least have a conversation at and, like enjoy the vibe and, see some scenery or something. Might go somewhere. It might be a little something fun at the end of the night, like, some arcade type vibe or some type of activity or something that, we could just chill out, hang out, nothing too much high pressure or nothing, something relaxed, so we could actually get to know each other, and it's not, so much pressure and so tense. Just come and have fun and just really feel each other out.
Okay. All right, we have one more question for.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the first date, it's more about getting to know each other. Something casual. You don't have to go out there and splurge on the first date. Once again, like these women, TikTok or whatever type of women out here on the internet, spewing and saying, "Oh, you didn't take me here to this expensive place and pay all this type of money and all that other nonsense." Once again, like my boy in the middle said, even like a picnic date, whatever. It's all about getting to know each other. That's the purpose of the first date. So, how you doing? Greeting. You talk about things that y'all like, what you don't like. That's how you get to know each other. That's a normal date. It's not about the scenery. It's not about who is seeing y'all together. It's none of that. Going somewhere even private. I mean, for one, a date should be something you feel safe, safe to be on with someone. So yeah, you're going on a date with somebody. You should feel safe even to be in a private session with someone, meaning that you're not always in the middle crowd, or you're not in a restaurant with other people eating, but just even like sitting in a car to just even having a talk and talking about your plans on things you want to do in 5 years, or your goals, all types of stuff like that, and see if y'all going to even have things in common, and see if y'all are going to be more, see things eye to eye, be more compatible with each other. So yeah, the first date, you can't expect it to be like a concert, something big, something hyped up. You gotta take it, one date at a time. You gotta take it one step at a time. Take it slow and, just go with the flow. And if it seems to all work out, it'll play itself out as it's supposed to. But if you're trying to force it, you're trying to have this, you're trying to be fancy like this and do all that extra stuff, and oh, you don't take me to a cheesecake or this type of restaurant, you got to take me here and spend $500 on whatever type of nonsense. It makes no sense. Like I said, chivalry's not dead. It just takes a reasonable, good woman to basically bring the best out of a man, which these men right here, they're reasonable.
This round.
So my final question for this round is, why do you think most relationships fail today?
Okay, let's start with contestant number 2.
I love that question. I would say social media for sure. Social media is like, it has everyone thinking it's just so much out there that it's not. And then like a lot of people are really just into the hype right now. Everyone is just so focused on not missing out on something, and they think that they're going to miss out on something. So it like kind of tends to make people do things that you wouldn't even normally do or even really want to do, but you just don't want to miss out and you want to be a part of the vibe or the whatever scene is going on. So I would definitely say like social media is a part, and like just like not being present versus being just in a whole nother world instead of being where you are.
And contestant number 5.
Contestant number 5, I'm definitely going to agree on the social media part. I also think music has a part to play into this. I feel like nobody really thinks for themselves nowadays, and it's like somebody's favorite artist says something, they're going to automatically believe it and go through it, and I just feel like it's just not, like, for example, if you go out, you're going to see the same people going out. But if you look at it on social media, it looks lit. But if you see them at the club, they're just standing around, like, just doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, it looks cool, but if you're really there, if you really know what's going on, you're going to be like, yo, it's not really what's going on. So I definitely agree social media and music is just jading everybody's minds, and it's not how the real world works. It's just not. So social media and music is what I'm going to say. Nobody really thinks for themselves anymore.
It's all illusion.
And contestant number 4.
I'll keep it short, but basically, I'll say lack of communication. It's very, very big to communicate when you're in a relationship, because when you think about it, you're gonna get married to this person, hopefully, and if that happens, things aren't always gonna be so bright. So the best way to solve those issues, those problems, is to communicate. And I found like a lot of my friends, a lot of people I'm around, have problems with the relationships just because they're going to other people to talk about this and that their significant other did. And it's like, if you would have just went to your significant other the first time, you probably wouldn't have had that issue, that problem, whatever the case may be. You could have solved it in the blink of an eye, but because you decided to go to social media, like my boy said, or you listen to the music and let that influence you, or whatever the case may be, it's like it's not gonna work, even if you don't do those things and you don't have communication. You got to have communication overall.
Wow. 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 That's all I gotta say is wow. These men are awesome. Well level-headed, well-rounded, down-to-earth, great minds. These right here. These guys right here. This is how real men think. They're 100% on a dating show to find love. These guys are really seeking that opportunity. I mean, it almost leaves me speechless. But I liked all their answers. They're right. But the guy, especially in the middle, I mean, don't sleep on him. Besides the way he, people might sleep on him because of the way he dressed. Can't judge a book by its cover. Don't sleep on him. That's Romeo right there. You know what I mean? That's Romeo looking for his Juliet. Chivalry isn't dead. Let me tell you. Like this guy said, in social media, it's just nothing but a bunch of nonsense. That's all it is. It's a bunch of, if you sit there always going off what you see on social media and stuff, you're just basically just believing in the hype. You're believing a bunch of nonsense, a lie, and a bunch of foolish people, because half the people that end up on the internet are nut jobs. I'm going to say it as is. It's like you let the nuts, the nutty people out of the asylum and onto the internet. Like, that's the thing about the internet. It has given people, the nutty people, the crazy people, that gateway to get attention. Hey, look at me. I'm a nut job and I got some crazy ideals and weird things to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. You got people on social media telling you, hey, what they're eating, what they're doing in their everyday life, all types of things. Some things you'd be like, man, why is this person recording this? Why are they recording their personal, life events and things like that? But that's what social media is. So it's like, you got to take a lot of it with a grain of salt. You don't fall into go down the rabbit hole when it comes to social media. You don't believe in this nonsense. Just right here. These men, even, not even just these three, but when it was all of, no, because that one guy was kind of, these three guys right here are a perfect example of what is a man and what is a good man to be in a relationship with. I'm not saying these guys are flawless by any chance, but still, they're smart. They have great minds. They're intelligent men. Don't sleep on this. These are the type of men that women sleep on, and thinking that all men want is sex and all this other stuff and all that other nonsense and chasing women with BBLs or fake body parts and things. No, These be the type of men. These are the type of great value men right here that any respectable type of woman should look for. Men that are in the relationship to be committed, not to cheat, loyal. You know, very precise and on point with how the way they give these answers. And hopefully this young lady, I don't know. It's a tough choice between these three. I like all their answers. And looks ain't everything. Keep it 100. Looks isn't everything. Personality, their personality is what gives them value, not their looks. Their personality is what gives them value. And she seemed like a decent woman, and it's not just about her looks. Her personality. She has a good head on her shoulders. Is it like half of the loony women you see on social media? That's what a value woman looks like.
Around.
I know those are pretty good responses.
These are great responses.
Unfortunately, we do have to get rid of one of those guys. We got to eliminate him.
So the person I'm picking this round to eliminate will be contestant number 2.
Okay, I'm going to have you stand on over there. And contestant number 2, let me have you come on out.
They looked at each other like, oh.
All right, you can stand right over there. Okay, so why did we lean towards eliminating contestant number 2?
I think for me, when it came around to that date question, I kind of feel like it was not really like a lot of effort thought or put into it when it came to what could possibly be done. But that's just me. Like, I'm definitely like a more outgoing girl, I feel like. So I don't know. I just feel like I didn't really resonate that much with your answer today.
All right. And then, sorry, if you can remind us of your name again.
Andre.
Oh, Andre, you don't got a mic?
No, I got it.
Oh, there you go.
Andre.
Andre, okay. Well, Andre, we do thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we are in our final round. Final round. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on to our questions. We do have contestant 4 and 5 left, so let's hit in with the first question.
So what I would like to know is, what is the most spontaneous thing you've ever done?
Ooh, okay. Contestant number 4.
I've done a lot of spontaneous things. So, for example, I drove myself across the country, changed my life. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, originally from Kenya, but I moved to LA, and I drove myself over there to pursue my dreams and my career. But I will say the biggest thing I've done was, I would say, well, I'm going to give you 2. I flew out of the country alone to London, had the best experience of my life. But the biggest thing I wanted to say was I jumped off like one of the buildings in Las Vegas. It's called the Strat Tower. It really boosted my confidence. I'm not going to lie. I was like, I can do anything. Like, I'm fearful. Wow. You know what I mean? But, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, yeah. All right, contestant number 5, let's hear from you.
Wow.
Contestant number 5, geez. The most spontaneous thing I've ever done was...
He's like, dang, can I beat that? Oh, man.
Kind of the same thing he did, traveled a little bit. Went to Paris for a week, then took a train to Amsterdam. Awesome. There for a week. You know, that traveling stuff and going out the country was really just a nice break from everything. But that's probably the most spontaneous thing. I was like, yeah, let me get my passport, start checking off these countries, getting these stamps. Went to Jamaica too, but nothing compared. I was out in Paris for Fashion Week, so I was like, I gotta go. I need to get lit, and that's what I did. Yeah.
Okay.
What would you say is the most spontaneous thing you've done?
That's what's up.
Oh, wow.
So, I wasn't expecting this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've done a lot in my life, but kind of piggybacking off of like them is just definitely being able to solo travel, as well as like with my best friend. We actually share the same birthday, so we always travel together, and I feel like my times with her are just always so grand, and I'm so appreciative of the time we have together. So I would say, like, my times with her is always just so spontaneous. It's just, I love it. Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and start off with that second question.
So my second question is, like, what's a long-term goal you guys would like to achieve?
Okay, let's start with.
Oh, I'm sorry. Contestant number 5. Definitely financial freedom. I do not like stress. I mean, I know it's a part of like everyday life, but I know, like, me personally, I like to, have a good time. So I would love to be. I understand financial freedom is not necessarily like super duper tin, but I would love to just be able to do whatever I want. I just feel like I don't want to stress about bills, yada yada. So I definitely think a long-term goal is to get myself good now. So in the long run, I don't really have to worry about stuff like, like I said, I just bought my dream car at 24. I'm about to be 25, so that kind of lets you know where I plan on heading. So I'm just like, I don't really care about, the fun stuff now. Like, I can do that later on if I just know to play on my cards right. So right now it's time to grind and build my legacy. So when I do decide to settle down, have kids and everything, I can do that without, really having to worry about it. So definitely financial freedom for sure.
Okay, contestant number 4.
Honestly, I'm really, really, really interested in building a family because that's just something I didn't grow up with, like, a lot around me. As far as, like, intermediate family, I didn't grow up with a lot of that around me, but I have always had, like, cousins and aunties and uncles and stuff around me. But ultimately, it's just getting to where God wants me to be urgently, because life is really, really short. And when you think about it, there really is no time. Like, there's no time at all to do anything. So I just want to do everything that I'm supposed to do, everything that I'm meant to do while I'm here. And I want to succeed and strive to that at the fullest of my capabilities, basically.
Okay.
All right, next question.
So my final question for this round is, how do you like to show your affection to the people you care about?
Okay, contestant number 4.
Quality time. Whoever I love is someone that I want to be around. So if that's you, then I just want to be around you and spoil you, treat you to what you like to do. But, that goes vice versa. We do that towards each other, which builds a better relationship versus one person just doing something. But honestly, it's quality time, getting to know my partner, because you can never know someone 100%. There's always something that you're going to miss or something that you need to know that you didn't know, something you can do better. And I know everyone likes attention, everyone, in general. So showing that girl, that woman, attention is very important for me, because I know without that, there's a lot of problems that can, that can hinder your relationship and whatever the case may be. And I don't want any problems in my relationship. So it's just quality time, attention, and just love and care, really.
Okay. Yeah. All right, let's hear from contestant 5.
I think for me, showing my affection, like I said, I was raised a certain way, so it's definitely going to be, I hate to say it, a little bit more on the materialistic side. I'm definitely in tune with my affections and obviously being able to speak. But I know me, like I said, I like nice things, so if you buy me some nice thing, that's my love language, so I'm going to reciprocate that to you, as well as, a verbal and, like reassure you side. Quality time for sure. It's just, I like you. I'm gonna buy you a bag or something, But that's only if you my girl. That's only if you my girl, though. Whatever. So, but definitely I look nice. I want you to look nice. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of it.
Sir.
All right.
Tough one.
I mean, it is a tough one, but it just all depends on what type of girl she is. Like I said, homeboy with the jeans on, the blue jeans. I would have to say, if that's what she's looking for, if that's something in her mind that she has in mind to be in a serious relationship with, I mean, he sounds like a good type to pursue, to go on a date with, basically. But like I said, I'm not even tearing down any of these guys. But this is all about, picking just that one. And like I said, it just depends on what type of girl she is, what type of woman, where's her head at and what she's looking for. I mean, he seems like a good level-headed, type of guy. And if she's actually looking for that genuine type of man that's going to, who love language is to not just provide her, but more, like you said, give her attention, show her that type of affection that she, that she needs or wants or whatever, it makes sense. But above that, like I said, these guys got a good head on their shoulders. These are value men regardless. Different, of course. But let's see who she chooses.
We're down to our last two guys.
Our last two men.
Elimination time. Which one out of these two contestants, all of the responses really resonated with you? You loved what you heard, whatever it may be. Which one out of these two are we eliminating?
I think for me, it'll be contestant number 5.
Okay.
I think overall, I was kind of leaning towards the other person more, and just like the attention to detail and just like the intention of what you want going into a relationship and building that bond with the person. So I think the other person's answers resonated with me more versus contestant number 5 today.
All right.
Both great.
You can go ahead and stand on over there. All right. Contestant number 5, come on out.
Good luck, man.
All right, let's have you stand there. Okay, if you want to remind us of your name again.
Hi, my name is Kai.
Hi, okay. So you did end up eliminating him. Was there anything specific he said that you were like, oh, you know what? I'm definitely going to steer more towards contestant number 4?
I think it was kind of your last comment on my final answer in terms of the materialistic. I love gifts. I love giving gifts to my friends and my family. It's also another love language of mine, but I think like that bond is much more important to me than the other stuff.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
That's why I said, I was like, I was raised a certain way, so like I understand my view is going to be a little different, but
yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing
Well,
wrong
thank you
with
so
that.
much for coming on.
Nothing wrong with that at
Nice
all.
meeting you as well.
Okay. You can stay right on there, girl.
Here it goes.
Okay. So you did end up picking contestant number 4.
I did.
So let's go ahead and bring out your match. Come on.
Can I get a drum roll, please?
On out.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'll have you just stand
Sherelle.
over here.
Bro,
Sherelle.
Tavia.
Tavia, nice to meet you.
Yeah, you're beautiful.
Thank
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So I know you said a lot of his responses like really resonated with you. What really like sealed the deal for you?
I just think like the way you articulated things, like that's just kind of how even I would respond to some of like my answers I asked today. And also your view on like mental health and everything, like that's so important to me. I'm a big advocacy for therapy. So yeah, I think that's just my final,
Okay.
I was just like, okay, like I think I'm leaning more towards this way, and I think like just as we went on, that's just kind of sealed the deal for me.
All right. So now you see your day. How are you feeling? How are you feeling, sir?
Mr. Money Man. I'm just playing, no, but she's a beautiful young lady.
Yeah.
I loved your responses too when she did ask you, some questions. I really like your vibe and everything like that. You have a beautiful smile as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, we're real happy.
All right. Well, I can't wait to hear about this follow-up.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope we get lots of dates and we hear good stuff.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
really, really happy for you too.
Can we go skydiving?
Oh.
See, like,
All right. You good?
hey, yo.
Thank you.
Hey, yo. That laugh. She said, oh, that is awesome. That is what's up right there. That is what's up. I mean, I hope she's genuine. You know, also finds him attractive at the same time and everything. You know, because like I said, something can sound good, like, you know, like it looks good on paper, but then you bring it into fruition, you know, and in reality, in real time, it's kind of like, sounded good on paper, but yeah, time to chalk it up. So hopefully, you know, as it sound good behind the curtain, it actually looks good as it sound to her. Yeah, but it just all depends on what she's looking for, and as far as even looks goes, all that. But hopefully she do find him attractive. Like I said, the guy has a great head on his shoulders. You know, any woman would be a fool to sleep on. You know, a valued man like this. I mean, he's young and has a good head on his shoulders, and seems like he's all about doing the right thing. And that's what matters the most. That's what's going to make it work. So tell me what you think in the comments about this whole new format they got going on here with the blind date and everything. You know, what's your opinions or whatever about my opinions or my comments about the video. Like it, subscribe, and until next time, Fergberg's out of here.